Most people assume all luxury homes are created equal, and they're not. Some of these homes are absolute magnets for long-term value and the lifestyle that people are chasing. Others look incredible on paper, but they end up being big mistakes that people realize when it's too late. And here's the crazy part. It's usually not about the price tag. It's about the very specific types of homes that you should be running to and the types of homes that you should quietly be walking away from. If you're new here, I'm Dave Sobolik, luxury real estate specialist in Southwest Washington and Portland Metro. And I've had the privilege over the years of my career working with individuals just like you who are looking for that premium property. And make sure you stay to the end because I'm going to walk you through the 3 types of homes you should definitely walk away from. In no particular order, the first one I'm going to talk about here is waterfront properties, and more specifically, the homes that lie along Evergreen Highway on the north side and then on the south side, the Columbia River. These homes are all about premium lot location. Why is the location so important? Because it's about the view. It's the view of the Columbia River. They're all south facing, so you have the more sunshine throughout the day, and the sunsets are absolutely unbelievable. So one of the great things about finding a luxury home along the Evergreen Highway area is that these homes tend to be on larger lots. They tend to have a lot more space in between them and their neighbor. They have much more established growth, which I personally love myself. It really gives more character to the property itself. You're gonna find a combination of homes that have older ones that have actually been torn down and modern mega mansions have been built. You also have some that are very grand. Perhaps they're more dated, so they may need some a budget for remodeling. But what you can't change is that location. And that location is critical, and that is where you get some of the greatest value. You have dirt on the Columbia River that's selling for an acre that's gonna sell for 1.6 million alone. That's just the dirt. You add in a house that has its own private dock, now you're adding that another $1 million to that. So you can easily get dirt with a dock for almost $2 million, $2.5 million before you even start to put up the structure. So homes on Evergreen Highway, they command a premium, and that is why Evergreen Highway is a highly sought after area that you should consider. Another type of home that we love to show our clients are homes in Camas, Washington that command territorial, mountain, river, and actually city views. In fact, we actually have a listing going live in Dawson Ridge on Prune Hill in Camas right now for $5.5 million, and it hits all of that criteria. And last but not least, one of the types of luxury homes that you should be looking for are homes on Acreage immediately outside of our metro market. We're talking Camas, Battleground, Ridgefield, and there's some other nice neighborhoods as well, but those are the communities that you really should be focused on. And why are those areas in such high demand? Well, the reason is that land is rare, right? We're in a metro market that's growing very, very fast. So to find a grand home on 5, 10, or maybe even up to 20 acres that you can secure that's still really accessible to restaurants and grocery shopping, all the essentials that you may need, that is a premium. When you get onto those acreages, those homes are beautiful. Oftentimes they're gonna have great views, more and less than the river views, they're gonna have more of like Mount St. Helens or Mount Adams or maybe Mount Hood views, and there are some that even have all 3 mountains together. So views are a premium as well with that. But once you get on that acreage, you have room to spread out, yet you're close enough to everything that you need. You could store your RV, you could store your ATVs, you have a shop to work in, you have room to put a big pool, you have a guest house, you have unlimited opportunity when you own land like that. So areas like that are at a premium. They provide something a little bit different than what Camas does with the territorial views, and something a little bit different than Evergreen Highway, where you're right on the waterfront. All 3 of those really offer something that's actually special. And so again, I may be repeating myself, but I have to tell you, acreage is so rare. So if you're gonna buy a home like this on acreage, you are gonna get a premium when you go to sell it, because there's not any more land out there, the metro market is growing, and if you can secure something on acreage, but close in to all the special essentials that you need, you will not be disappointed. And now, luxury homes that you quietly want to walk away from or avoid altogether. And one of the first types of homes that you should quietly walk away from or avoid altogether are massive homes with a poor layout. And what I mean by that is, you may move into a home like that or think you want to live in a home like that, but once you've been there for a while, the floor plan just is not conducive for you and the way you like to live. For example, formal dining rooms aren't used as often as they used to be now. A lot of times people are like, oh yeah, we're gonna have formal dining, we're gonna do this and that. But what you realize then is you have all this square footage sunk into rooms that you never use. And in some cases, you may even avoid. And so if you want to then open that up to the rest of the house, we're talking about removing walls. When you remove walls, you have to bring in beams to open everything up. What it happens is not only is it a headache to do, but it becomes a very expensive headache and could cost you a lot more in the end that you may not get back when you go back to resell it. The second type of luxury home that you should avoid are homes that are in isolated locations. For example, consider being out in Amboy or La Center. You could find a home that is like your dream house. It has everything you want, everything. But that location, it's really hard to get to. It's far away. You're easily an hour from the airport. You're probably a good 20 minutes, 25 minutes away from the closest legit grocery store. Think about the way you live your life. If you live your life in isolation, this may be the one, but most people don't. Most people have daily lives, they have families, they have kids' sports, they have groceries, they have work they have to drive to. So even though that dream home has everything that checks your box, consider where it's located and how long it's gonna take you to get to your main destination and back. That's a strong consideration you need to make because your time is a commodity that you never get back. And the further your home is away from the centers of life, when you go to sell that home again, the smaller the buying pool. And the last type of home that you absolutely want to avoid and run away from are the older luxury homes where you have extensive deferred maintenance and the owners simply just have not taken care of it. For example, they have done some cosmetic updates, fresh paint, things like that make it look really nice, but it's like putting lipstick on a pig, right? There's gonna be, when you walk around a property like that, you're gonna see extensive water damage usually. The roof's probably compromised. I guarantee you when you go through the attic, you probably have some level of moisture intrusion, which means organic growth. But those are things you can't see with the naked eye. Going into the crawl space, those are areas that really tell you a lot about a house. If a house is well maintained and checked up on a regular basis, it's gonna be a nice clean crawl space. But most of these homes that have deferred maintenance, you have insulation falling down, you have vents that aren't venting properly, they're probably disconnected, so that creates moisture situations in the house as well. The list can go on and on. So again, be careful. Just because it has fresh paint doesn't mean that house has been kept up. So run far away from houses with extreme deterioration and deferred maintenance. And so this list comes from extensive experience working with luxury buyers. And with Southwest Washington being in high demand for luxury real estate, it's really important that you know what to look for. If you're throwing around the idea of buying in the Southwest Washington market, I'm Dave Sobolik. I'd love to sit down with you, learn about your needs, show you some homes. So you can book a call with me below, and I'll see you on the next video.